Let's head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason for the first time today.
This is Jim from Rochester. I tried to keep quiet as long as I could, but is anyone ready to agree with me that Mr. Stefanski is not a head coach? He may be a head coach if he gives up the offensive coordinator spot. We need to do something or the season will be gone. I understand the injuries, I truly do, but a lot of other real good coaches make sure that they come up with something different to fit the personnel. He does not. Thanks, guys. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I'll be talking to you. See ya. Bye.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Fred, at some point in time, when you put backups out, be it a backup quarterback, be it backups are a backup because they have deficiencies relative to the NFL style of play. If you don't believe me, look at Josh Dobbs. Look at Josh Dobbs last night. Kevin Stefanski's kind of got some hands tied behind him relative to his play calling. You don't have either of your starting tackles. You don't have your starting tailback. You don't have your starting quarterback. You don't have your backup quarterback. So you're calling around some deficiencies relative to play calling.
Yeah, I mean, Jim there, I think is a friend of mine from up in Rochester, New York. I go up there and do a lot of banquets going back there in April. And, and we've talked about this, there's always deficiencies and criticism when plays don't work. I mean, I was not a fan at all when they had the ball in the 41. You do a double, triple, reverse razzle-dazzle with your third string running back, and you were 21 yards behind the 8 ball before you even fumbled it. But you could say they're 7-4, and you wonder how many coaches could have a team 7-4 without Deshaun Watson, without Nick Chubb, without Jack Conklin, without Jedrick Wills, 4 key players on your offense. So, as you said, I fault them for not having a veteran backup quarterback back, earlier in the season in case, Watson was dinged up, or even if he had to miss a couple games. As it is, he missed several and then he lost for the season. But I don't know. I mean, you can look at both sides. He's kept this team together, maybe not so much play calling, but as far as just the overall head coach and managing it, we'll have to see how it plays out. I mean, they're 7-4. I remember when the Browns were 7-4 a few years ago with Brian Hoyer, and the regime then decided to switch to Johnny Manziel. I think they finished 7-9. This would be a disaster if the Browns, collapse to that degree and lose, all of their games or all but one, and lose out on this opportunity to make the playoffs. Last week, they had an 86% chance to make the playoffs. It dropped to 68%, but it's still very good. And with 6 games to go, they have 4 games against losing record teams. So Kevin Stefanski needs to find a way to put this team in position, regardless of the roster, and beat the teams that they should beat in the final 6 games. I don't think there's any games on the schedule they cannot win. Of course, they're all going to be tough because of their current status. But I think this is where he'll earn his stripes going from here on out. And, and sometimes when you call that double reverse razzle dazzle and it goes for 30 yards, you think it's a tremendous call. But obviously it was a big failure the other day.